Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sports Desk for your Monday. This is Liam and Michael here. We've got a big week. Well, we had a big weekend.
Huge weekend.
Footy is full on back now.
Full on back.
Men, women's, kids, dogs, cats.
Everyone's playing.
Everyone's playing footy.
Even Sri Lanka are playing.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. Everyone should be getting right back into the sport because there's so much going on at the moment. We're going to recap the AFL Women's League this round, and we actually had a bit of history as well. The first ever Women's League draw.
And there's going to be a interesting fact from this draw to the first ever draw that happened in 1897.
Wow! Talk about digging up the historical stuff.
I love my historical stuff. I am full historian here.
You're living in the past, Liam.
I'm a Free supporter. There's no past to live up.
Yeah, that's very right. You just look at your old Guernseys, mate. You just want to bury those pasts.
Oh, we'll talk about jerseys later on as well.
Oh no!
Let's talk about the greatest jersey you will ever see.
We're also going to be talking about the T20 that happened last night for the first ever time at Geelong down at Continua Park. I was actually down at the game to watch that, and the fans were going absolutely bananas, and there were probably more Sri Lankans in the crowd, I think.
Nice. Also, in the words of Frodo, it's done. It's over.
It's over.
Sydney FC has lost their first game.
I can't believe it. Can we recheck that? Oh my. No way.
Yep. The crowd was stunned. They're still in the stadium, doing the scream.
They've done a live cross, and there are people still at the stadium in shock. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been a mess. And the first ever, the new Suncorp Super League started this week. And in typical Collingwood fashion, they lost.
And in GWS Giants fashion for this year, they won. So,
and believe it or not, we'll get to that a bit later on, but they played the GWS theme song.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so any thought that they're not as connected to the team as people think they are? They got the song?
I feel my condolences go out to the audience.
Yeah, they might lose in the prelim final as well. We've got a 70s theme today because I'm feeling 70s here. This is Electric by Alice Cooper here on the Sports Desk. That was some nice Alice Cooper here to start your morning here on the Sports Desk on Sin 90.7. It's currently 13 degrees after enjoying our first day of winter yesterday.
Oh yes, it's. I tell you what, being down at Geelong yesterday, it was very, very cold.
I was down in Ballarat, which is even worse.
Incredibly, it was raining all day, and then just at about 6:30, about an hour before the game, suddenly the clouds aligned and the sun came through, and it was beautiful.
They're like, "Yep, we need some play cricket. Let's not rain anymore."
Yes. Thank God for that.
Another fantastic round in women's footy. It's been a great start to the year. It's a great league overall. We'll go with the first game with the first ever draw between the GWS Giants and the Fremantle Dockers. It was Freo's kicking the Cosm in the end, and the final score was 7 goals 1 to 6 goals 7. Freo's just could not kick a goal. And this is Freo's second ever draw, men's and women's. Funnily enough, their first draw was against Sydney in Sydney.
I do remember that game. Michael Johnson couldn't make the distance.
Oh, Freo had no one on the line.
They had no one on the line either, which was just absolutely ridiculous.
And this is GWS's first ever draw, so kind of good on them, I guess.
Well done. Yes.
Yeah, fun fact of the day, and I wish I had a sound effects there. That'd be awesome.
7-1-43 to 6-7-43, so it wasn't exactly the same kind of score. And as you can see there, the picture quite blatantly is Fremantle couldn't kick too accurately.
We'll go down here to the first ever draw in the VFL history.
Oh, here we go.
Round 7, 1897. We're going back in time. Fitzroy drew with South Melbourne 5-13-43 to 5-13-43. So both of the first draws in men and women were 43-43.
Wow, how is that?
And if you're a kid at home who has no idea who Fitzroy and South Melbourne are, Fitzroy's Brisbane and South Melbourne Sydney. Just to get that out there, guys.
I'm very glad you pointed that out. I mean, the detailing is at the back of the jumper, but not a lot of people notice that. So for all those kids out there, get a little glass out, have a little look at the TV next time it's on.
Closely listen to the Brisbane song. I know the men's don't sing it too often, but they do say like Fitzroy and Bears of old. So we go down to the next game, which was a very entertaining game between Collingwood and Brisbane. Brisbane remain undefeated, defeating Collingwood by 4 points.
Very gutsy by Brisbane here. And the rumour was during the week, and actually leading up towards the game, that Brisbane actually had a little bit of flu going through the side. And if any of you know how bad the flu is, It's pretty hard to play any kind of contact sport with the flu.
I think, thank God there were women. If they were men, they wouldn't be able to get up.
No. The men would have taken a sickie. They would have demanded high pay for it as well.
Nothing's worse than the man flu, you know.
Yeah, man flu.
You can't get out of bed.
Man flu is worse than any kind of flu.
Oh, it is. It is.
It makes the Black Plague seem quite envious. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But no, this was a very entertaining game. And we're going to get to the votes later, but one of my favourite plays was a very, very good player. And I've went blank for the moment. But she kicked an incredible goal. What happened was it was pretty congested. Kate McCarthy pretty much ran through this pack and just sprinted straight down the absolute guts of the ground. And I think she took about 8 or 9 bounces, just to make sure she kicked the goal and put it through the eye diddle. And, plays like that, considering, not all the players at 100% correct is an outstanding effort.
And the fun fact about her, she has a pacemaker.
She has a pacemaker?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It would have been going through the roof.
It would have, yeah.
She was on fire. She sprinted faster than anyone I've seen this round. So they played extremely well this round.
Brisbane are undefeated. And it's been a while since you can say that about a Brisbane team.
People are just kind of testing their eyes, seeing if everything's all right. Of course, they came back to normality when
the men's played
when the men's lost.
But everything's good now.
But you know what? If they can enjoy the next bits in the AFLW, they can really have something to cheer about, I think.
We'll go down to the last game, and surprisingly enough, the Doggies lost again.
Oh.
The Premiership Fancies.
I know. What's going on?
Gone down to Melbourne, 43-29. Nice 14-point win.
And I saw both teams running out into the ground. I thought it was great how some of the Melbourne players
did the guard of honour.
Did the guard of honour, cheered him onto the ground. Big Nathan Jones, the skipper, was there, and it was great to see. Obviously that was the curtain raiser before the, or should I say, not really a curtain raiser, but I actually think there probably was more interest on the first game. But even still, it was really great to see that.
Yes, and then we go to the final game, the both undefeated teams. Maybe a grand final preview? Maybe not.
Potentially.
The Adelaide Crows taking on the Carlton Blues. Adelaide won by 3 points with a nice outside 50 kick by Aaron Phillips. If you want to kick a sausage roll, you won't see a better sausage roll than that.
One of my friends was saying the other day, if it was from 6, you might have bounced 8 or 9 times. No, it didn't. It bounced, I think,
twice?
Once. Yeah, maybe twice at most. It was incredible. It was a really great kick.
I think she thought she was in basketball trying to hit a 3.
I think so. She gets a little bit hungry, the old Erin. But no, it was worth it because she. Unfortunately, her name's not Fishlock because she did break the deadlock. She put her team in front, and I tell you what, very low scoring game, Liam. It was 2-5 to 2-2, and no goals scored. Well, no goals scored from Adelaide until the second half.
It was a bad conditions over there, but on bright side for Adelaide, they have next week. They got the Dockers.
Ooh.
Then they play against Brisbane and Brisbane and Melbourne. Sorry, Brisbane and Melbourne. Then they play Collingwood. So if they can at least win 3 out of those games, they're in the grand final. They are. As much as Brisbane's also undefeated, they have only defeated Melbourne in bad conditions, then Freo and Collingwood. Same with Carlton. They haven't really defeated top teams yet, so we don't really know where they're at.
Can't get the best read on them. However, Brisbane. They haven't been expected to win any just because, the brand of Brisbane aren't expected to win.
Oh, it's more the fact that they got players from Brisbane. Where, like, Adelaide...
Kind of a bit unknown.
Yeah. I think you got, Taylor Harris, who did nothing this week, but she did good last week. Actually, before we get to our votes, there was a player who got... We spoke about it all week, last week, and the week before.
Yes.
I don't know if she's injured or what's wrong with her, but Mo Hope.
You're as cold as ice. To keep it in the 70s theme there, Liam. Yep. She has been a lack of Mo Hope, and 2 touches, 2 kicks, 1 point. I mean, yes, she got on the scoreboard this week. Congratulations. But yeah, she's been. I don't know whether it's been the expectation. I know expectations are a pretty hard thing to live up to. Played extremely well when the Doggies in Melbourne used to play those curtain raisers.
Nice 6 goals in that game.
And one of the major lead goal kickers for most of the women's league leading up to this season. I feel like she's going to get back into form somehow, but right now it's she seems to.
It's really looking hopeless, isn't it?
Yeah, she might actually request a trade. I feel like it might actually do her good if she goes somewhere else at the end of the season.
Gets out of Collingwood.
Yeah.
We'll go to leading goal kicks now, and as since round one, Mrs. Vesio, with a nice goal on the weekend, puts up to 7 goals. And then in second
You only
place,
kicked 1 goal, Darcy.
Yeah.
Yep, but still.
You got Elisa Misfit from Melbourne on 4, Phoebe McWilliams from GWS on 4 as well. So, and then Erin Phillips also on 4.
Wow.
So let's go to the big one. This is the SYN AFLW Player of the Year award. You go first, Michael.
I will go first. I think everyone's pretty sold on this option. Daisy Pearce. I gave her a couple of votes last week. Thought she was very, very influential, particularly watching the game live. You see a lot more behind the play of what she actually does in her leadership, and she is a very switched on player. It's got very, very good awareness, and she just looks so good live. But this week, it was just clear what she could do, and 26 disposals. And I think 26 disposals. All right, in a game of men's football with quarters almost as long as half an hour, you go, 26 disposals. That's a good game. But in the women's league, that's a sensational
20
game.
minutes is a long quarter in the women's league.
It is a long quarter, and some of the quarters were 15 minutes, and to get 26 disposals for the whole game, that's really, really big stamp of authority. So she gets my 3 votes. How about your 3 votes?
I have to say the same. You can't. There was one player. You watch the game, and you like a few players. I picked the person who I've got number 3, who got my 1 vote. I looked down and I was like, oh yeah, she was always in my top 3. Daisy Pearce, without a doubt. If you didn't give her the 3 votes, who else would get 3 votes? She was by far I think she's the best. I better say best looking player, but people might take that the wrong way. But she's by far the best football player in the competition.
She really does look.
She's the elite.
She's the package. She's got the lot.
The package, yes.
The package. She's outstanding.
She's piercing. She's very piercing.
She's very piercing. She pierces the gaps. Now, my 2 votes goes to a lady called Kate McCarthy, who I mentioned before kicked a very sensational goal. I just love players bursting packs, getting through, kicking big goals. She was outstanding. She ended up getting. I don't know how many touches she got at the end. I think she got over 10. She did very well. Kicked a couple of goals, but just looked really, really good. Looked really composed for Brisbane, and pretty much she dictated a lot of the play through the midfield and really set up that forward line to get some of the goals. And so her through the centre of the ground just looked terrific. So I got to give her 2 votes because I think she influenced that game.
My 2 votes is Ali Blackburn from the Doggies, the 5 Dangerfield of the Women's League at the moment. They both just shook hands to start the game and went their separate ways, and they did really, really well, both of them. Blackburn just couldn't kick goals. She kicked 2 points, but played also probably by far the second best player. Who's your number 1?
Number 1, and she could have easily gotten 2 votes in my mind, but I did just love watching Kate McCarthy on the weekend, so I'm going to give 1 vote to Erin Phillips. Of course, we were talking before about her 60-metre bomb. It was very, very impressive, and she does stand out on the field. She's got very, very bleached blonde hair, and you can spot her from a mile away. She does extremely well, and 19 disposals to go along with her amazing 60-metre bomb. So 5 marks and 3 tackles, and might I add, the tackles were quite large. So she does very well. So Erin Phillips, 1 vote for me.
My 3 votes, it's being biased, but last week I looked at this player as well and thought if we were doing a top 4, she would have got a 1 vote. She was unlucky to miss out last week. And believe it or not, she's a Fremantle captain.
Ooh.
If you watch the game, you would hear that 1,000 times. Every time she touched the ball, Cara Donnellan, the Fremantle captain. The skipper, the captain. The Fremantle captain, believe it or not, Cara Donnellan gets a vote. I think she was influential in the game in the draw. And Freo were in front until she got off. She had a blood nose and she had to go off the field. And that's when Giants pretty much took control of the game. She's by far the best player in the Fremantle team. And my only issue with the AFLW is the elite and the players. There's a much more bigger gap than there is in the men's. So players like Pearce and Donnellan.
I don't know, there's a pretty big gap between Zach Dawson and Nat Fyfe, but we won't go into detail on that one.
As good as Fyfe is, he's no Dawson.
He's no Dawson. That's right.
Dawson.
He's going to live up to that hype.
Talking about Fyfe, we're going to talk about the men's now. It's time for the men's to stand up. We're going to go first, touch from ZZ Tops. Here on Sports Desk on SYN 90.7.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7 FM. Of course, you are here with Serpers and Liam, and we are talking all things sport. And we're going to head to the AFL, of course, the JLT men's pre-season series has begun, and some very exciting results, a lot to talk about. And we're going to go to the very first game that happened, and it was my team returning for the first time onto the field.
Bombers.
The drug-free Bombers, so we think, and it was good to see them back in black. I was there with the crowd of, I think there was about, there might have been 10,000, 15,000 there. A lot of Essendon supporters, mostly Essendon supporters at the game. Collingwood did get over the line, which pains me to say. 2 super goals, 13-9, 105. Defeated the Bombers, 14-10, 94. But I thought Essendon played very well, and I thought we've got a lot to cheer about. I particularly liked our recruit from Brisbane, and it's rare that we say we get a good recruit from Brisbane, but
Joshy Green.
He's I wouldn't say he's had an illustrious career. He's kicked a couple of goals in the past.
Won Brisbane's goal kicking award, which isn't hard. Kick a goal, you're there.
Kick a goal, go straight to the leaderboard. He did
win the
very
best
well.
of first, become captain.
Pretty much, and he kicked 2 sausage rolls, very, very influential, and stands out for the Redhead. He joins the forward line now with James Stewart from GWS. He's also a Redhead. And he did pretty well, stood up, and so we might start to adopt a couple more Reddies, and they're doing very well.
Trey Bossing played his first game back, nice 19 disposals, kicked a point.
Only played for about 2.5 quarters.
The crowd was hoping for that goal.
Oh.
But there were some people saying he's going to win the Brownlow this year. Let's the breaks, guys.
I don't know. He's looking pretty good. I'm putting my money on him.
And then we're going to go down to watch the Hawks, who's usually the role model for bad jumpers, playing against the worst jumper I've ever seen in Geelong.
Look, you know what I think happened? I think they headed down to this University Oval and they went, "Oh, damn. I think we forgot to bring our Guernseys, guys. Let's just wear the warm-ups."
Oh, sorry. We'll go back to jerseys. We'll go back to the women's. And Freo and GWS both made mostly white. Decided to wear both white shorts. Yeah. And Freo's like, "Oh, GWS are white. How about we wear our away jumper?" That makes sense. Yeah. And it was the worst to see. And that's probably why the game was a draw, because no one knew who to pass it to.
No one knew who to pass it to. They'll probably kick it at the wrong goals as well. It was unbelievable. But yeah, these Geelong jumpers are pretty. When I say jumpers, I quite literally mean
t-shirt.
They were sleeves. Yeah, they had sleeves. They were t-shirts. They just look like their training jumper. In fact, I saw them training during the week with them. So I reckon what really happened, and there hasn't been a media release on this. I reckon, and we're gonna. Me and Liam are going to do some investigating. We're going to do some journalistic stuff, and we're going to try and find out what happened to the Guernseys, because I don't think it's theirs.
Well, actually, apparently they got it weared as well during the home and away season.
I thought no.
Yep.
No, if it has sleeves, no.
I'm actually going to roast a Geelong fan, right? Yeah. I am.
This is just by the way, for ladies and gentlemen listening out there, this is a Geelong roast today.
No,
disappointing.
It is. We'll give a praise. I'm going to give a praise to a Geelong player as well later on. But they announced on Facebook they're going to wear their terrible jumper. And I got a mate who goes for Geelong. And believe it or not, he's not as arrogant as most Geelong supporters. I know. Wow, a Geelong supporter not arrogant? What world do we live in?
Wow.
It's a surprise. It's a surprise to all of us. But, so I commented on his thing. I go, fact. I tagged him in the photo. I go, fact. No team has ever wore a t-shirt style jumper and won the premiership in that year. That's a fact.
That's an absolute fact.
He laughed. And then this guy, I'm not going to name him, he goes, Liam O'Grady. Stick to delivering pizza, mate. A job I quit years ago, so I don't know why he thinks I still do that. We'll be taking 5 at the end of the season. Ross Lyon, fever settling in. He's like fruity cancer. That's a bit mean.
Yeah.
Wow. But Lyon's done okay. Then my mate stuck up for me, nice guy. He goes, 5 to realise what a mistake Danger made. Here we back off. A Geelong offer. And I think after wearing that t-shirt, Danger was like, I should have stayed in Adelaide.
I think it's went straight to his head. And honestly, for the big G at the front, I thought they were advertising Gatorade. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I just think, you got a bit of footy banter with your friend. You don't want someone who has no idea what you're on about jumping in, being big defensive.
Unbelievable. Absolutely shocking. Slap for Geelong. And also a slap for Geelong's weather as well last night. Bloody freezing. It was difficult.
But it was good to see Ruffy back.
Good to see Ruffy back. And for all those Supercoach fans out there, get him in your side, because he is just going to continue to get better and better as the season goes on. I think he's only priced at about $350 in Supercoach terms. So get him in, guys. Get him in. He's very cheap. Fits straight into your forward line. And look, he'll go up in price. You know what Ruffy's like. But good game.
Yes,
Hawthorn half-time, they led by about 40 points, and they must have rested a couple of players because Geelong came back stirring.
2 players I'm being critical of. I'm being very critical of these 2 players. I'll start off with one. It was good to see, as much as I'm not a fan of Jake Romeo, I don't know if he left Gold Coast for his leg problems, like he says, or he's at 20 years old going premiership hunting. I just think
he's hungry.
Any player who goes from a bad club to a good club, you think they're a bit of a sellout.
You do.
But it's good to see him back. He got off through unscathed. And someone I've been critical of as well, Patrick Dangerfield. Mm-hmm. He injured himself in the practice match, interclub match on the weekend. He had no reason to play. Showed up anyways.
No.
You know, that's commitment. And what about this? For a bit of Cade Stewart after the goal.
Oh, brilliant.
Outside 50, after the siren, to win the game.
They found a player here.
He looked at Isaac Smith and like, mate, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Learn it from me. Yeah. Kicking against Geelong. I can
after
do
the
it.
Siren.
But Cade Stewart, shout out to him. 14 disposals, 2 goals, 1 after the siren. He's gonna be a player for Hawthorn for a couple of years to come, I think.
We'll go down to the next game. The GWS Giants demolished West Coast. Both pretty much B teams, but it's kind of scary how good Giants B team played. Most of these players probably won't get many game time.
No, but I got to say, Tiziani, very first goal, first kick, first goal.
Mate, you with a name like that, you're going to be a footy superstar.
Tiziani, great Italian name. Very good. Love how there's a Z in the name.
He doesn't play for Carlton.
I'm very surprised about this.
Well, he's GWS. Carlton will pick him up anyways.
They'll pick him up
and
with Reece Palmer's pick again.
Yeah.
Very, very good player. Shout out to also the GWS players who got picked very early in the draft. They did extremely well. Will Setterfield had a very good match.
Tim Taranto.
And Tim
Number
Taranto.
2 draft pick, though. Who is he? He was the best out of the top 3 draft picks on the weekend.
Unbelievable. Because I honestly thought Andy McGrath didn't do too much on them.
No.
But
McCluggage did what he needed to do, but we'll get to McCluggage later.
We will. Francis Watson as well for the West Coast Eagles. Looks like a very good defender already made. 15 marks, 7 contested. So look out for him. We're also going to go down to Western Bulldogs Melbourne. Now, this one was played at Whitten Oval as well. And
before we get into it, guys, if you're standing up, just sit down. If you're in the car, turn it. Just you're gonna have a heart attack. Okay. We're ready.
You ready for this?
Okay. Travis Cloak. Kicked the goal.
Yeah, but
from 25 metres out, directly in front.
Directly in front. Are you sure?
Straight through the middle.
Straight in front.
Straight in front.
Did you pull out a measuring tape and make sure it was directly in front?
They have. They're still there. They're just.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you were driving, you've crashed your car, you're in shock, you've opened up the blender, everything's went everywhere. We apologise. Okay, I know it's a shock. It was a shock to me.
I can show you this if I get down fast enough. It was 25 metres out, directly in front. Oh, so I was on a bit of an angle, but just look at that. Look at that.
Yep. I'm looking at it right now, and
you see it
very, very, very straight. I cannot believe that.
In the words of Andy Hutchison. I see it, but I don't believe it.
I see it, but I don't believe it. Now he also kicked a goal from outside 50, super goal.
See, that's understandable. That's a Clokey thing.
Which is a Clokey thing.
He didn't do too bad in his debut for Bulldogs.
Wore the glove on the weekend?
Of course. Make sure it's a legal glove. That wasn't.
It has to be a legal glove.
Yeah.
But also another player at the other end of the ground who did extremely well. By the way, Melbourne did get up.
Yes.
For all of those who are wondering, didn't kick any super goals, but kicked 14 goals 8. So very accurate.
Are you talking about the Hulkster?
I'm actually talking about the Wiedemann, Sam Wiedemann.
No, not the Hulkster.
Very high pick for Melbourne a couple of years ago. Kicked 4 goals. Did very, very well.
2 goals 1.
2 goals 1 for Hogs.
No. Wiedemann kicked 2 goals 1. The Hulkster kicked 4.
The Hogster kicked 4.
Yeah.
Must have got my facts wrong.
No, yeah.
But I've got to say the Hogster is looking a lot slimmer now. He's looking like he can run a marathon.
Oh, he's looking good. Kicking good. Playing good.
Playing good. Not playing for Freo either. So sorry about that.
Yeah, that was bad. He signed with a year left on his contract as well. There was too much hype around him.
A lot of speculation. Sydney versus North Melbourne.
Yes.
This was another good game.
And according to the Herald Sun, North Melbourne are premiership favourites.
They're back in town.
Yes.
One man is going to shake up the entire North Melbourne squad.
You knock down your former captain, you can do anything.
You know. I think that's one way to stamp your authority. That's one way to get a game. You got to sledge tackle your ex skipper. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, that's in the footy handbook.
So I'm waiting for Jake Carlisle to spear tackle Nick Rewalt at training. I'm waiting for it. because he's not going to get a game any other way. But this man, he's called Braden Pruce. I think it's Braden Pruce. He's a big ruckman, and of course, Todd Goldstein can't do it all.
He's a bit out. He's out injured at the moment anyway.
Yeah, he's a little bit injured as well. So this is the man. This is going to be the man.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Get him in.
And we go, I'm not my one by 2 points, but meh.
Yeah.
Let's go down to another meh game. Gold Coast Suns versus the Brisbane Lions. And the Suns got over 81 to 57. A bit more experienced Sun team that won the game.
Looked pretty good.
But it was good to see.
Pierce Hanley was in.
Yes.
Played very, very well. I thought he played well.
First game for the Suns.
17 disposals, if you don't mind, diddly dee. Hugh McCluggage. First game for the Brizzy Lions. Looked pretty good. I
want to talk about McCluggage because I want to talk about something that annoys me in footy. But yes, Hugh McCluggage, the apparently should have been number one draft pick, played good. So did Aaron Hall. So did Barlow, Hanley, Colin Jasny.
We better mention that Sam Day had a
popped his
brutal injury. It did not look good.
No.
It didn't look like he got nudged or anything when he was going for the ball. It looked like he just had a genuine trip. He actually hyperextended his leg and dislocated his hip when his foot fell into the turf as he was going for a mark. Now,
did you see the Jack Frost tackle as well, where he sling tackled? That ground, that's not an AFL ground. That ground is probably as hard as concrete and heads straight into the ground.
Did not look good.
So, I think Frost will probably get a few weeks for that.
Cold as ice. We've referenced that a few times today. But tell us about Hugh McCluggage.
Well, not just Hugh McCluggage. My issue is these fake footy experts, the people who know stuff that the media don't. Fife's everywhere. Every time you see something about Fife, it's either, and he's a busy man, he's signed the contract with Carlton, he signed the contract with St Kilda, contract with Hawthorn, now he's signed the contract with Essendon. All these players people who know that Fife's signed these deals, behind Freya's back, of course, because, he can't actually sign a deal while he's playing. So, Freya's giving him capacity, apparently not knowing that he's signed these deals. McCluggage now has got this rumour thing. Brisbane posted a photo on Twitter saying, aren't you excited to see McCluggage? And someone posted, McCluggage has already signed a deal with Essendon in 2019 before the draft. Because, you want someone to... what if you like a girl, right? You like a girl. And the girl goes, I like you, but I want to date your friend. But in a few years' time, I want to break up with him and I'll date you. That's okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to date you yet.
And it's not going to affect our relationship. No. We're still going to be friends.
No, but, McCluggage, who for most of the year was going to go number one to Essendon.
Yep.
Apparently Essendon's like, we don't want you at the moment, but we'll get you in a few years' time. And McCluggage's like, that's good. Yeah, I'm going to go to Brisbane, make new friends. Hopefully become a part of maybe a successful side.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'll come to you
Most
soon.
likely not.
No.
Unless he's playing Women's League, of course.
Yes.
He might do well.
Or he might put on the wig and just,
might do a Brenda Vavola. Grow some locks.
Yes.
It was also good in the Gold Coast game to see Michael Barlow, Jared Witts also debuted.
Let's not mention Barlow.
I know you're still hurting.
I love the bars.
And David Swallow returned.
Good to see him back.
Very good to see him back. Got long hair now, which is a little bit weird.
He shaved it off.
Oh, he shaved it off?
Yeah, he's got short hair.
Thank God.
Same as Stefan Martin got rid of that thing at the top of his head.
Oh, thank God. The little man bun. You don't like it? Don't like the little sumo wrestler?
I don't like any of them.
Nah, fair enough. Not many people like the Gold Coast. That's fair enough. What is our 70s song? What is our pick?
Apart from me, I've got them in my top 8 this year.
You're a brave man.
We're going to head to soccer, and we're going to hear some Hot Blood here on the Sport Desk on CN 90.7. That was some hot-blooded here on the Sport Desk on CN 90.7, and we are standing.
We are standing in the studios. We are freshing the legs.
We are rebels.
We've been inspired by the song Hot Blooded, and we're trying to get the blood flowing through the legs, of course. We're going to get straight to the A-League. Round 20, of course, kicked off, pardon the pun, and first match of the round, it was Adelaide United versus the Newcastle Jets. Crowd of 6,000 at Cooper Stadium. And Karuska at the 61st minute, kicked a very, very beautiful sausage roll and got Adelaide United over the line. Of course, they move to a very, very comfortable last position on the ladder.
That's a good place to be.
But, they've won the last couple, so I'll tell you what, they could be mounting.
A very close game on Saturday with the 1-5 loss to the Melbourne City with the Wellington Phoenix.
Oh, the Wellington Phoenix, bro. Couldn't quite do it.
It's boo.
Bro.
Yeah, the Wellington Phoenix lost 1-5, boo.
1-5, bro. Just not good enough,
After the game, they got some fish and chops.
I love the name of this stadium, though, the Cake Tin. Isn't that a great name for a stadium?
A beautiful name.
It is a beautiful name. And obviously,
the big
Wellington Phoenix got baked here. They didn't rise to the top well enough. But yeah, look, Melbourne City, they needed to stamp some authority. Look, they did lose in the Derby, and they lost last week as well. So,
no, they drew.
Oh, they did draw. But they haven't looked great of late.
No.
So this was a good win for them. They go to 8 wins now, sitting third on the ladder, so they'll definitely be in the finals. But I tell you what, though, they've got to just instill some confidence in them. So to get this win is a very important thing.
Yes, and now this is the big one.
This is the shock.
The
this
shock.
Is the shock.
For the first time in, give me 1 second.
Wait for it, ladies and gentlemen. This is an
For the first
unbelievable
time
stat.
in 322 days, the Sydney FC have lost.
What?
Oh, I know.
No
Lost
way.
1-0 to the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Oh, no.
And they've pretty much been the team who's had the number. Well, yeah, every game they played 3.
Now, I've got to ask, is this a mental thing? Is this a mental thing? They lost to another Sydney side. Is that ANZ Stadium? Yes, not exactly on home territory. But, you know, maybe the Western Sydney crowd a little bit hostile. Just let them know.
They're a very charming bunch, the Western Sydney fans.
I was going to say.
Yeah, let's make sure you wear a bulletproof vest when you go to one of those games, you know. Oh.
Bring some flare protection.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a big win by Western Sydney.
Oh, massive.
Ever since Santabalab's 26-minute goal, they just couldn't get back in this one, Sydney.
And, you know, Sydney, instead of being 10 points clear, now they're only 8 points clear on top.
They are. I mean, the 14 wins obviously look very good, but you know, the last couple of weeks they've been drawing, haven't been quite getting the big victories.
Maybe they're getting ready for the finals.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I thought they had their pretty decent team in for this one, but yes, it was a big win for the Western Sydney Wanderers, and they are sitting in a very comfortable position.
Go down and Perth Glue pretty much a last-minute goal, which gave them. Okay, I thought it was a last-minute goal. No, it was a 48th-minute goal. My bad. People lie to me. It was a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw.
Yep, and we go down. And Victory as well, who's been struggling the last few weeks as well, despite their win against the City, which was a lucky win. Smashed Central Coast Mariners 3-0.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful
thing.
Sets
them up in second on the ladder.
And at Central Coast Stadium as well, away from home, and
the whole 2 people that were there.
You know, they have talked about this before. You know, in not a lot of people at the stadium. They got to find ways to win because Victory love a bit of hype. They love the crowd getting behind them. They love getting fired up. But you know, they got to win these games. They got to win the games with a smaller crowd away from home. They got to cement these ones. They do love playing against big crowds, in big crowds, with the big crowds with them. You know, they rise the morale. The morale lifts for the victory, and they get the victory usually. So this is a big win for them.
Now we'll go across sports to netball. We don't really talk much about netball in this league, but you know, it's the first round of a new league.
Super netball.
Australia and New Zealand had a bit of a breakup. They were like, "It's not you, it's me. Let's just be friends."
Knowing me, knowing you,
and.
And we've lost one of our microphones. No. This was a big first round. GWS have a franchise, and they have their own side in the Super Netball.
Yes, and they won 58-53 in the New South Wales Derby against the New South Wales Swifts.
And, you know, it shouldn't surprise us because GWS is a franchise. In the last couple of years,
they probably got a lot of help from the Netball League. You know?
They certainly have been. Now, you were saying before we went on air about the GWS Giant theme song has been played at the netball games.
If any doubt that they weren't as affiliated with the AFL team being put to rest, they are as AFL as the AFL team.
So they had a Russian waltz pre-game?
Well, yes. But the Collingwood's theme song wasn't played in their game, mostly because they lost 58-55 against the Melbourne Victories.
Always helps if you win to have your theme song played. But they lost to Melbourne. Wow.
Yes.
It seems to be that the cross leagues here start to be repeating themselves.
Yes.
I think.
Now we got the Queensland Firebirds against the Melbourne Storm team.
Firebirds.
The Sunshine Coast Lightning, which is don't know why the Sunshine Coast Lightning is Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
That was a draw.
It was a draw?
Yeah, it was a draw, 56-56. And the last game was, because all the other states have 2 teams apart from Perth and Adelaide. The Adelaide Thunderbirds defeated the Perth Fever 56-51. And we go across another league to basketball, and the final between Illawarra Hawks and LA 36ers going to Game 3 after the Hawks won 100-94.
Wow.
It's always good to see a Game 3.
Semi-finals. It's always good when it gets to that. You want to have a clinch decider. You want it to go to the end of the very, very final game. Well done to the Illawarra Hawks. They're looking very good now.
Yes. It's been another good weekend in sport.
It's been an amazing, great. I'm just stunned for words. You know, it's been amazing. And when we get back from this song, we're going to be talking about the cricket, the game I was at. I'm still shedding all the icicles off me from that very, very cold game down at Geelong. But very good. I was very, very impressed. And hey, all the power around Geelong didn't go out last night. So that's a very, very good effort from them.
Where's the win? This is Smoking in the Boys' Room by Brownsville Station here on the Sport Desk. This is the Sports Desk on CN 90.7, and when we wrap up, we're going to talk about some cricket first. And the Aussie Bees took on Sri Lanka in the second 2020.
Let me tell you who was smoking. I'll tell you who was smoking. Garanatine. I think that's how you say his name. He was unbelievable.
84 not out.
I headed down to the old Geelong, the old Cardinia Park. It was my birthday on the weekend. Thank you very much. Very good birthday. And
yes, there's a lovely photo on Facebook of you.
There's a brilliant photo of me. For all those out there, don't search up my name. And let me tell you, heading up to Geelong with a bit of a hangover is not the easiest thing to do on a Sunday morning. It was...
Heading up Geelong anyway is not an easy thing to do.
Peeing down rain all day. Didn't look like there was going to be T20. Didn't look like there was going to be a ball being bowled. We're all expecting maybe 2 or 3 overs, maybe a bit of Duckworth-Lewis. No. The rain cleared. It was a beautiful evening for cricket. Freezing evening for cricket. But Geelong put on an absolute superstar show. It was great. Australia made 173 off 20. I thought they could have utilised the ground space a little bit better. Geelong, the stadium down there at Simmons is not that big. It really isn't that big. The boundaries maybe might have been 50-odd metres wide at some of them, so really not that big. So plenty of sixes were hit. Kulasakra took 4 for 31, played very, very well. And Moises Henriques, 56 off 37, hit some very nice sixes. And I thought Ben Dunk also played a really, really nice innings before getting dismissed in the 20s. Sri Lanka then came in, and they were looking a little bit shaky. They were losing wickets at regular intervals, and at one stage they were 5 for 40 when AJ Thai looked like he was going to get another hat-trick. And Sri Lanka at this stage needed 130 off 80 deliveries, and then they needed a further 48 runs off the final 3 overs to win, and then 36 from the final 2, and you know what happened?
They won.
Australia choked. It was unbelievable.
And Sri Lanka celebrated like they won the World Cup.
They did. They all ran into the ground.
I don't think they realised that defeated the Australian Bees.
They did. They did. If we had most of our squad, could have been a different story. But well done to Sri Lanka.
Could have, would have, you know.
Could have, would have, should have. Yeah. Didn't happen. We choked again. Finchie's going to have to go back to the drawing board. There is, believe it or not, one more game in this series in Adelaide.
What was the crowd like?
Crowd was 13,000, which I thought was very good, considering they are building a brand new stand at Geelong.
I don't get what happened there. They were building a stand for ages, and then they finished it for a few years, then they've tore down another stand to build it up.
I do not understand the logic behind it.
I know people in Geelong aren't. I know they're a bit slower over there. You know,
I know they're a little bit slow.
Geelong. You know, they're like in the 80s still.
They're in the 80s. That's why we're playing the 70s hits for you guys today. This is for all the Geelong supporters out there. But there was a really nice buzz around the ground. A lot of Sri Lankan supporters made the big journey up to Geelong.
That's good.
So they were going absolutely crazy, as you can imagine, when the final ball was hit. And it was a very, very beautiful forward down to the boundary. And incredible victory for Sri Lanka. They win the series 2-0. With one more game to play. Well done for him. We're going to quickly just recap what's been happening over in India at the moment. None of the players have got sick to our knowledge.
So they must not be drinking the water. That's good.
They must not be drinking the water. They must be brushing their teeth with Sunkiss. Good on them.
It's Fanta over there. It's Fanta.
Yeah, it's Fanta. Now,
I've got a mate, and he went to India. Sorry for cutting you off. I've got a mate. He went to India, and he goes, just took a photo, sent it to us, drinking the national drink. It's a bottle of Fanta. It's good when people can take the piss out of themselves. It's always good when they can do that.
It is good. But you can't drink any of the local water there. It practically looks like Coca-Cola. Now, Matty Renshaw and Glenn Maxwell's selections are both going to be looked at very, very closely. They didn't have the best hit out on the weekend against India A. They both went for 2 pretty cheap innings in both the first and second innings. Frontline spinner Nathan Lyon, of course. Gaz, the GOAT, as they like to call him. He was carded for 57 runs in a miserable 6 overs. So, I'll tell you what, Dazzle Lehman has plenty to think about. Mitch Marsh is expected to edge Maxwell in that 6th position. And
how does Marsh still play? How do the Marshes still play?
I do not know. One of the selectors must have a soft spot for him. And then you've got Sean Marsh, who he scored a very nice ton in Colombo last year, even though we did lose that series 3-0. And he did make a ton in the first innings in this practice match, so very good for him. He might also edge out Renshaw. It's going to be very hard to see what the shape of this team is going to look like. And then there's a lot of speculation now over whether Usman Khawaja is actually going to hold his spot. He hasn't played in this game, so he could well get dropped.
After getting out by a chair.
Which, after getting out by a chair, as we mentioned on last week's show, a little bit embarrassing, to be honest with you. But Australia were 4 for 110 on stumps on the final day of the 3-day contest. Steve O'Keefe bowled pretty well, and he also batted at number 4, believe it or not. He grabbed 3 wickets from his 24 overs, helping cleaning up the tail with Lyon. But Lyon's figures weren't too great, 4 for 162. I think pretty good for just a little bit of a knockout, just to start the series. But one of their players tormented Australia. He's called Sheshrash Iyer, and he made 202.
Not bad.
With number 8 batsman Gotham. They also batted pretty well. He made 74. So both assaulted Lyon, hit him around the ground. Don't have the crowd there to help Lyon out, so he might struggle a little bit.
Before we wrap up, I just want to do a quick thing. Talk to you Freo fans quickly. I know Freo fans. I know you guys like to live in this delusional world. Like, I've been around Freo fans for years. I've been in the Freo Cheer Squad. I know how delusional Freo fans can be.
For many years.
And they take jokes like they take premierships. They just don't take them. Oh
no. Oh no.
Fife. Yes, he's captain. Congratulations to Fifey.
Well done, Fifey.
But he hasn't signed. Let's just, I know a few of your bed sheets were probably sticky after you found out that news. But
yours certainly was, Liam.
Oh yeah, loved it. But he's not signed. Let's just relax. He could do a Griffin and leave.
He could.
Until he signs a deal, he's out of contract.
That's right.
He can say what he wants. Say he might sign. Let's just calm down for your fans, okay? Just relax. Just good.
I'm glad you're letting people know this because it would be a significant signing. There's been rumours going around he could sign with more than one club.
I know he'd be playing 5 clubs at once.
So he'd probably play 3 or 4 times a weekend.
Yeah.
Good on him. But it's great that he got the captaincy. I couldn't really see who else would get selected, to be honest. But wow. I mean, Tendai Mazungu would have been my lock-in if he was still at the club. But
good name, good hair.
Good name, good hair. Mazungu.
But yeah, we spoke about the lovely women's great round 3. The JLT, who really cares about that.
Brilliant round of football.
Sydney FC finally lost the game. Collingwood lost in the netball and the football and everything else because Collingwood. And the basketball. So we've had a good week of sport.
Very good week of sport.
Make sure you tune in again on Friday for another preview of another big week of sport here on the Sport Desk. And, of course, get cereal for yourself on Tuesday.
That's absolutely right.
Yes.
Join us tomorrow. We've got plenty of big ideas from IKEA. And, we've got some very, very big stories. And, of course, tune in for our weekly pub quiz that we're going to be doing tomorrow. If you know the answers, put them up on Twitter, @GetCereal.
Yeah, this is Sport Desk on Sin 90.7.